share two softwares basically, right? But we'll start with training order system. Okay. So first we'll try to understand the problem statement, right? So this is a training order system and it's a like desktop application. Okay. And order system, and this is one input Excel file that also I will share via email. Don't worry. Okay. So what is the problem statement here? Like this is one of the desktop software. Okay. And this Excel you can see it's like input file. Okay, it's like a input file. So suppose if there is any department or is there any team basically within organization, right, where they are receiving this data on a daily basis, right, and they have to feed this data or they have to enter this data into this particular software, right? It can be any software, right? Because from automation point of view, it can be based on any of the technology. It doesn't matter. Okay, so it can be any software. So what is the step? For example, first we can see how manually is happening. Okay, so before automation, we have to understand how the process is happening manually, right? Then we'll be able to build with the help of automation. Okay. At the same time, we have to understand it's repetitive in nature. What is the frequency? How many FTE are doing? FTE means full-time employee. How much time they are spending, right? So we can calculate some ROI as well, right? Based on that, we can decide it's really fruitful from the automation point of view or not. Okay. So what we will do, we'll open the sheet, right? Once we open the sheet, okay, then we will launch this particular application and we'll enter the uh, username and password. So username is admin, password is also admin. Okay, I just clicked on the sign in. Once we clicked on the sign in, we'll get this screen. In this screen, we can see there are three options: add new order, view existing order, and third one is a quit. Okay. So first is add new order. So we have to add the new order. Okay. Give the option number one, click on the go. As soon as we click on the go, we'll get this new order screen. On this new order screen, we have to enter product code, number required, unit price, cost center, and then submit the order. Okay. So how we will do it? We'll do it one by one, row by row, right? So one row is a one record, right? So we'll mention to click on the submit order, right? Once we clicked on the submit order, we'll get this order confirmation. Okay. Once we get this order confirmation number, we have to capture this order reference number. So what is our order reference number? 848. Okay. So we have to capture, right? So we will capture it. Click on the continue. Okay. As soon as we click on the continue, new order screen and order confirmation screen will go away, right? We'll have this screen. So we'll give option number two, click on the go, we'll click on the view orders, we'll get a view order screen. So we'll enter that number 848. Okay. We'll enter that number 848 and click on the retrieve order. Once we click on the retrieve order, what will happen? We'll get this order details and then we'll close this window. Okay. We'll close this. Now, same thing we have to do for all the records which are available into the Excel. Okay. But now Prince just joined, right? So maybe I will show again from the scratch, right? Anyhow I'm going to show for two records, right? So I just shown for one record and I will show for another record, right? But next time we'll not log in again, huh? We'll not log in again. We'll give the option one here, click on the go, and then we'll do it, right? But Prince just joined, that's the reason I will show from the scratch, right? So what we are talking, this is our input file, okay? This is our application, and in this application we have to do entry, right? So what we'll do, we'll open this Excel file, okay? Then we'll open this application, we'll enter username, we'll enter password, we'll click on the sign in, right? and then we are having three options, right? So we'll give option number one first, click on the go, then we'll enter the product code. This is product code, number required, right? Unit price, cost center. Click on the submit order. Okay. Then we'll get order confirmation window. We'll take this order number from here, right? 1082, sorry, 1092. Click on the continue, right? We'll view that order. Click on the go 1092. Retrieve it. Okay, we have retrieved it. Close this. But we have to do one more thing. We have to create one column like order number. Okay, it's like a unique reference number for that particular order. So, for example, when we are doing any ticket booking, right, or any reservation we are doing, right, so that unique reference number we are getting, the same unique reference number we are getting here also. Okay, so same thing we have to do for all the records which are available here. So we'll give option number one, click on the go, right, and we'll do the same thing again and again, right? For all the records. Today we are having four records. Tomorrow might be 400. Day after tomorrow might be 4,000. Doesn't matter, right? At the end, it has to, what we can say, follow the same steps. Okay. Once it is done, right? For example, once it is done, what we will do, will give the option number three, click on the go, right? And we'll save this Excel file. Okay, we'll save this Excel, right? So this is our problem statement. Basically, we are going to see it. Okay, so clear this problem statement. Any question, any doubt? All good. Okay. Now the next thing. Now the next thing, right? What is the next thing? So now suppose, as I said, that department or the team, particular team, right? Uh, they are doing this process manual. Okay, they are doing this process manual, and we can consider they are getting average 1,000 records per day. Okay, average 1,000 records per day, right? So we can consider if you do it manually, it will take 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, per record, per record it will take 30 to 45 seconds, right? And we can consider there are two associates, right? So two associates, they are doing this process currently. Okay, they will divide the load, for example, 400 400. If there are 800 records, or if there are 1,000 records, they will divide like 500 500, and they will process it, right? But just imagine if one of the associate is not there, right? He might be on leave or she might be on leave, right, due to any reason, right? Then what happens, that one person has to process, and in case if it is not able to do it, right, then that's fine. Again, it will get delayed, have to process on the next day, or it might possible due to the any SLA, right? SLA means service level agreement, right? They will not able to process it, right? Second thing, suppose if this process want to execute or complete on a weekends or any holidays, right? No one will be available there. Correct. Next thing, accuracy. Okay. So suppose this is a daily process, repetitive in nature, right? The associates might doing any kind of mistakes, right? Because as a human, we can do any kind of mistakes while performing this task, right? And that might be a costly mistake from the organization point of view, right? So that is the reason organization, maybe we can consider, they want to go it for a automation. Why? Accuracy, then productivity, one of the important factor. So what is the productivity? So as I said, if associates are doing, they can take 30 seconds to 45 seconds, right? But at the same time, if it is done with the help of automation, it can take only 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, 10 to 15 seconds. So can you see the productivity difference between humans and the robot or the bots, right? Same time, accuracy, productivity, right? Just imagine today they are getting average 1,000 records, right? So it might happen business can grow, or during the peak season they are getting 2,000 or 3,000 or more than that records, right? What will happen? The organization will not able to process because they don't have the manpower, right? So they have to recruit the people, or they have to add few more people, right, into the team. But just imagine if the volume got reduced, right? What will happen? Again, they will not have the work to those employees, right? So to avoid all these challenges, right, or these problems, right, the organization said yes, we can go ahead with this as a automation. Okay, so now we will go and we'll see how to implement. Okay, clear? Now, any automation, okay, any automation, it is simple to simple or complex to complex, right? We can divide into three categories. Okay, init, processing, initially three category, but when we'll go for a framework, it will be four category. Okay, init, okay, we can mention init state, right? So in the init state, we have to add one time task at the start start of the process, right? Processing duplicate task or repetitive task, right? And end state is one time task at the end of the process. Okay. So what do you mean by this init, processing, and end state? Init means, okay, init means, suppose when we are doing it manually or with the help of automation, right? What is the task we are doing? And that is the only one time. Okay. It is not repetitive in nature. And this we are doing at the start of the process. Okay. So what is that task we are doing one time? Suppose open the Excel, right? Read the records, launch the application, enter the username, enter the password, click on the sign in, right? So those steps we can say will come under the init category, right? But after that, we can go to the processing. In the processing, we'll do the repetitive steps or duplicate steps, right? So what are those steps? Give the option number one, click on the go, right? Enter this product code, number required, unit price, cost center, click on the continue, right? Take that order reference number, correct? View it, write into the Excel. So all those things will come under the repetitive task, right? And what all those things will come into the end state, basically, right? Give the option number three, click on the go and quit, right? So those steps will come under the end state, okay? So each and every problem statement, okay, we have to uh, use these three stages. Okay, so understood this? Any question, doubt? Okay, no worries. Now we will go ahead and we'll build this. Okay, so let's start. And what we'll do, I will not build a whole flow at a time, right? I will just build a few steps, then we'll tell you like go ahead and build it, right? So I will not build all the solution in a one go, right? So don't worry about it. We'll go step by step. Now, so we can go create a process, for example, training order system, right? And this is our day two. Okay, so we can go to the respective folder. For example, we have created this one, then we can create a folder like day two session. Okay, okay, and save it. Okay, and click on the create. I click on the create, right? The same way, whatever we have created yesterday, Same way we will go ahead, right? Once we create a new process, what will be our first step, right? We have to add the flow chart, right? We have to add the flow chart. And yesterday we have seen about the sequence, right? So what is the purpose of sequence? We can add multiple activities into that particular sequence, or we can club, right? So for this init, processing and instead we can use a sequence. Okay. So for init there is one sequence. So whatever the activities for init, it will get added into that sequence. Same thing with processing. Same thing with instead. Okay. So let's go. Right. So we'll go here. We'll type flowchart. We'll drag and drop. We drag and drop. Right. Now take a three sequence. Okay. We'll type sequence. Take three sequence. One, two, and three. Okay, go ahead. So this is init state, right? We'll give the name it as a processing state, and this is end state. Okay, save it. Now, suppose you are working, you have created a separate process or project for this, right? And then what is the inputs are required for this? The inputs are required this training order application and this Excel file, right? So it's a best practice. Whatever the inputs we are going to use for this process or project, keep into the same project folder. Do not keep in any other location. Okay. So this is my project, right? And here you can see File Explorer, right? Just click on the File Explorer. Okay. And you can see this is my project folder, separate project folder. Add it. Okay. Do not keep it any other location. Okay, so you can see I have added training order system application along with the input. Okay, clear? Now go to the init. Now what is the first thing we have to do? We have to read the data from the Excel. Okay, we have to read the data from the Excel, all the data basically, and by default the file will look like this. Okay, so if you want to read the data uh, from the Excel, we have to use a read range work. Okay, read range work. So drag and drop. I did drag down. Okay, what it is saying? Workbook path. Give the path of the file. So we can go to the browse. Once I click on the browse, can you see? Right. By default, it will open your folder location. Select. Click on the O. Now we have to give the sheet name. Right. So suppose we are having multiple sheets, right? So we can give the sheet name from where we want to read the data. So I can go here and I can mention sheet 1. Okay. Now go to the properties. Okay. So here output, right? Output. Can you see this output? Will create a variable, right? To store the data. So yesterday we have created a variable, right? So where input data, right? Control K. How we are creating this variable? Click Control K. Will get this set var pop up. Give the variable name. Press enter. I pressed enter. Go to the variable. I'm in a variable, right? Now, can you see based on the based on the activity, okay? It has taken the variable, okay? Right? So that's the reason I said this is the best way to create the variable from this out. Okay, so based on the activity, it will take the variable. So it has taken as a data type. Okay, so we have seen string, integer, and third one is a data type. Okay, what is the third one? Third one is a data type. Okay, Why data table? Then the next question, why data table? Because if you see Excel, right, this is nothing but a data table, right? We have rows and we have columns, right? So when the data will store in this variable data table, it will store like this as it, okay? It will store like this as it, whatever we can see in this Excel, same, okay? Clear? Now the next thing, we have read the data from the Excel, we have stored into the variable. The next thing is we have to launch this application. Okay, we have to launch the application. So how to launch the application? First thing, what we have to do in case of automation, we have to do it manually first time. Okay, we have to tell like where, how to perform the action and what action has to perform, right? So first thing we have to add those steps manually. Once the automation is built, it will be taken care by automatically, right? So you can see I have launched this application manually. But how to do with the help of automation? We have to use application browser. So use application browser, right? I have taken this use application browser. Then what it is saying? Indicate application to automate. Okay, it means it is saying tell me which application you want to open, right? So we have to click on this indicate application to automate. Once we click on the indicate to automate application, your UiPath will get collapsed. Okay. Once it's collapsed, right, we have to indicate the application. Can you see it is taking that application in a green color, right? Just click here. What it is saying, click to select the application. Just click. I clicked it. Can you see? It has taken the path. Okay. Also, it has taken the picture of that or screenshot of that particular application. Right. Now, what is the next? So you can see this use application. Okay. So for every screen, so you can see this is a sign in screen, right? Every screen we have to use this use application. Okay. And under that, you can see the do. This will be automatically. Here we have to add the steps inside that particular screen. Okay, so inside this screen what we have to do, we have to click on the, sorry, we have to type the username, we have to type the password and click on the sign in, right? So if you want to type or if you want to enter something into the desktop application, into the web application, right, we have to use populate, sorry, we have to use type in, type into, okay, type, it will type it, type into, drag and drop, okay. And this is mandatory as I said, okay, otherwise what will happen, it will throw the error. Okay, if you want to see like what I will do, I will use outside this here. Okay, it will give the error, but it is saying this activity must be inside under use application, right? So this is always to be inside it. Now you can see error is gone. Now it is saying indicate in app signing, means it is saying in sign in app tell me where you want to type. Okay, so just click on this indicate. Can you see it is highlighting that staff number input box, correct? So just go there and click. Okay, and then confirm. And you can see when we'll click here, why it is asking to click here, right? Because it will take selectors, okay, from that particular application. Then the next question, what do you mean by selector? Selector means unique identifier, okay, unique identifier for that particular uh, element or that particular object. Okay, so when the developers are doing the development, they will add those background HTML tags, CSS to that particular application. Okay, In desktop application I will not able to show you the selector, but I will show you on the web application. Okay, I will show you how the selectors look like into the application. Okay, someone was trying to say something. No. Okay, so you can see it will take those selectors. We'll talk about the selectors in detail, but this is just very high level I'm telling you. Okay, now you can see this select, right? Click on the confirm. I clicked on the confirm. Next thing.
Just one question. When you click over there, so there are two selectors that come. One is fuzzy, one is strict. So
We'll talk
and
about it. We'll
okay,
talk about
that is the
it.
main.
Okay. That is the reason I said we'll talk in very detail. Okay. This is just I just want to tell you what are selectors. That's it. We'll talk about it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we'll go to the type this. So what it is saying? Type. What it is saying? Give the input. What you want to type there. So I will give here is a admin. Okay. And you can see there are two things here. Standard and secure. Okay. I will explain you this as right. Now take another type into this is for password, right? Go here, indicate this is password, right? Click here. As soon as you click here, right, you can see it has taken those selector. Previously it was txt username, right? Now it is txt password, right? So what it will do, it will take only unique selector. It will not take the common selector. Okay. So when this application has been built, right, lot of selectors will be there. But what our tool will do, it will take only unique select. Then the question why unique selector? Because it has to identify that object unique. Okay. So click on the confirm. And what we have to type? We have to type the username as a admin. Okay. Right. Username as a admin. So you can see here we have type as a standard. Okay. And I have typed that password. I know the password, right? That's the reason I type. But just imagine if you want to take your password from any, what we can say, like CyberArk or any vaults, right? So at that time, it will not be a standard, it will be secure. That also will see. We can store our password in a very secure way into the vault, okay, in the cloud. And from there we can take it. At that time, it will be secure. It will not be a standard. Even though you can't see here, but developer is aware about this password, right? So if there are very sensitive application and we don't want to even give the password to the developer, right? And that is our normal practice basically, right? We'll not give the password to anyone. It will be stored at somewhere and we'll just call it. So even though if someone is doing the development, that person will not aware what is the password. Okay. Now we have to click. We have to click, right? So take this click. Now it is saying indicate where I want to click. Indicate, want to click on the sign. Okay. So you can see it is considered as a button. Okay. Confirm. Right. So now you can see we have created the flow for the sign. Okay. And read range. We read the data from the Excel. Right. So you can see whatever the steps are there into the init. Right. Those steps we have completed. Right. Now we have to move to the processing, right? But before that, what you people can do, right? Complete this flow and do not run. Okay, do not run it. We'll run it at the end. Okay, we'll run it at the end. Okay, so just go ahead. I will share this input file and build your initialization. But before that, any question, doubt? I know Prince has asked about that strict and fuzzy selector. We'll talk in detail. But apart from that, if you have anything, please let
However, one more thing,
me.
when we selected that launch application activity, there is something called argument. If you scroll a bit up,
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
this application is working. What
Hmm.
is this?
So this is nothing like that. What you want to give here basically, okay? Just like maybe this is the input application or something like that. Okay, so this is not important. Okay, what is it
Okay.
important? This one. Okay,
Yeah.
application
Fine.
part. So what happens? Suppose now I will close it, right? So when we'll run this, right, what it will do, it will use this path and it will open this application during the automation. So path is important. That is the reason they have given it's like a mandatory. Okay.
Okay.
So please try, and I'm sharing this Excel file with you people via email. If any question from others, please ask.